Hearts on top of them and then maybe try and hit on the break, because they look a very good counter-attacking side.
They do. So, who knows? Strange things can happen in football. Let's hope Hearts at least get a good start, and we might yet have a game in our hands. Let's get ourselves to Tynecastle then for tonight's match. Hearts against Dinamo Zagreb, and it's John Robertson alongside Paul Mitchell.
Good evening, Dougie. Welcome, everybody. I was asked this week if the match tonight was a replay, given that the teams played last week. Sadly, we know that not to be the case, and while the tie is all but gone for Hearts, it's far from meaningless. Hearts simply cannot afford to have their poor start to the season extended any further, as they seek to avoid losing both legs of a European tie for only the 6th time in their history. Gold Greedy Dinamo were blanked domestically for the first time this season as they dropped their first league points of the weekend. 10th place Zadar securing a 0-0 result at home against the Croatian champions. But it's a tall order for Hearts, and there's one or two new faces as well in terms of starting in Europe for the first time, and you see one of them at Craig Thompson. Hearts found a new way to lose against Rangers at the weekend, looking at the side that started 7 days ago in Zagreb. 3 changes, Ballock for Keller in goal, Lee Wallace and Egert Jonsson miss out through injury. There's a debut for Craig Thompson at right back, and Gary Glenn, sub last week, starts tonight.
Well, it's a massive test for young Craig Thompson, but there's no better place to learn than a European environment. Hearts do need more from Sousa and Abu and the wide areas tonight if Nari and Glenn are going to have any chance to pull the goals back.
Well, Dinamo Zagreb delighted their noisy fans in the Matskamir Stadium last week. One change from the side that started the first leg, that says a lot. Eto'o is injured, Dejan Lovren is recalled after suspension.
Well, it's an even stronger side if that could possibly be. Lovren comes in after suspension and a really good player, but the front three of Morales, Mandzukic and Papadopoulos will have Hearts defence with their hands full tonight.
On the some positive news for Hearts, the return of Andrew Driver, number 11 for Hearts. Spoke to him earlier, he's hoping to take some part in the second half, as Hearts casting an eye ahead to the weekend as well. Our referee from Germany has been busy. Knut Kircher visits Scotland for the 2nd time, having taken charge of Rangers' 2-0 win against the Norwegian side Molde in the UEFA Cup 3 years ago. He's had enough floodlight worries to do him a lifetime this evening. Well, only one Scottish club has come back from a 4-goal deficit. Kilmarnock lost 3-0 in Germany against Eintracht Frankfurt, then conceded the first goal at Rugby Park. They scored 5 without reply to win in the Fairs Cup tie in 64-65. Hibs in 67-68 lost 4-1 to Napoli away before winning 5-0 at Easter Road. And it's a big night for these Hearts players, none more so than Craig Thompson, who was standing in the tunnel wondering if the match would actually go ahead. Would he be denied his big European debut?
Yeah, he certainly would be, the young lad, and he will be nervous for the first few moments, but once he gets that ball, maybe a couple easy passes to Sousa wide right here, he can settle down and enjoy what will be a wonderful experience and hopefully the start of a flourishing career.
Well, our Zagreb vulnerable. They won the first leg of the cup final last season by 3-0 against Hajduk Split and lost the second leg by 3-0. It went all the way to penalties. Wouldn't that be good tonight? Underway at Tynecastle, an immediate touch for Thompson, and Zaliukas back into the arms of his goalkeeper. Hearts changing goalkeepers in a European tie for the first time, with Marian Keller having started the first leg. Janos Ballock in goal this evening. Good hassling by Gary Glenn. That's precisely what we want. So Hearts with a long throw from Galvez. Badil easily heading the ball away. Back to Galvez. We'll get ready to throw it in again. Looking for the long runner. Thrown in towards Zaliukas. Gets the head flick on. Ordoljak away. Palazuelos back in once more. Bisham very strong. From Galvez. Gets the decision Hearts way. Thrown towards Sousa. It's good play from Galvez. Galvez still going. Early chance for Hearts. Abur misses it completely. just came off, it looked like the side of the foot or the heel perhaps, not clean at all. And what a chance that was inside 2 minutes.
Well, that's exactly the start. What a magnificent play from Goncalves there. Cut it back, Nabua, he's got to hit the target, and that would have been a dream start. It would have maybe, just maybe, got Hearts thinking that something special could have happened tonight.
Well, if Hearts could have scored inside the opening 2 minutes, why not? Well, David Nabua only scored in one game for Hearts in his career. This is his 34th appearance. And not adding to the score sheet tonight. Goncalves with a long throw, takes a bounce, Gary Glenn goes after it. Already a good tempo about Hearts.
Well, yeah, they've got to make things happen, and tonight's about even just getting some pride, getting a performance that could lift them. But look at this chance. It's a wonderful spot from Goncalves. He's taking his eye off it. You know, I don't know if he's looking at the defender, but really at this level, and to try and drag Hearts back in the tie, that's got to be in the net.
What a chance. Will there be many more? Hearts certainly hope so. Martina with a poor ball out. And Carlos flicks it forward. Goncalves going in strong on the challenge. The referee doesn't like it. In terms of the way that Hearts have actually gone,
it looks like 4-1-4-1, Paul. I'm just looking here now that they've lost the ball. Nadia up front is on, Glenn dropping in just behind there. Abua and Suso in the wide areas. Palazuelo sitting in front of the back four, so it'll be 4-1-4-1 when they lose the ball, and certainly, hopefully, 4-4-2 when they're going forward.
Zaliukas away from Papadopoulos. Valov has previous European experience, played the European Cup against Augsburg, lost a single goal in the 2 games, enough to put his side out the tie. Mandzukic couldn't get on the end of it. Bardoljak does enough hassling. That's good play coming out the back. Labyrinth plays it through. Papadopoulos! They are lethal.
Yeah, I mean, they're marvellous on the break. It's a great run there by Zanon. Locks it in there. Papadopoulos there. I'm not sure he gets all of it. And thankfully, I think it just clips outside of the post and goes past there. That really would have extinguished, if we pardon the pun, all hopes the Hearts had tonight. And thankfully, just grazes the post and goes past.
Hearts need the fire to remain in the belly for as long as possible. Barbaric away. Comes down towards Carlos. Andy getting involved. Suso up well. Carlos again, tall and strong. Bardoljak in the midfield to score that wonderful goal in Zagreb. And Mandzukic plays it away. Neatly done. Samir, number 10, with the light blue boots, almost onto Mandzukic. Goncalves trying to make it look calm. Worries everybody. And Lovren waits for it. Abua tracks back. Hearts causing their own problems at the moment. Goncalves was caught late. The leg was lifted.
Yeah, definitely a free kick, but what was magnificent there, Paul, was that when Hearts had the ball under pressure at the back, the 2 fullbacks from Zagreb went straight up, high up the park, really pushed on Abua and Suso, and there's Lovren, just read the pass coming, takes it, and nearly sets up another attack for the away side.
He's just back from suspension, Lovren. I think he was lucky there. The boot was raised as the player came past him. Balok booms one down. The flag is up on this near side. The referee's not spotted it yet. He will eventually spot it and award the offside decision. Christian Leitcher on the near side as we watch. Samir. Mandzukic. The flag is up again. As Al-Bouzid has the chance to play the ball forward. Much better tempo about Hearts tonight already. You've seen how quickly Dinamo Zagreb can move and strike. What a job he's done. Miroslav Juric, 39 years old. Got flack last week in the press conference after the game. Why his side didn't play like that against Salzburg in the previous round of the Champions League. You can't win sometimes. Well, you can't as a manager, but in saying that, I suppose in a way they've got a point, because they were amazed that Salzburg actually knocked out Zagreb, sorry. But you know, they were excellent last week and they've started very promisingly. It looks like it could be a really good open game tonight. And Goncalves away from Samir. Takes a little touch out of play, it goes. Celebrated his 50th appearance in Croatia last week for Hearts. We've celebrated perhaps not the right word. Papadopoulos brings it long, and Zugic is offside by at least 2 yards there. Be interesting to see how he plays, John. Again, there's been rumours in Croatia about him possibly moving. I tell you what, as you glanced across, he looked well offside, but there he wasn't.
Yeah, he plays right on the edge, and that's what you want your strikers to do. You know, take that chance. He will get caught offside a couple of times, Paul. There's no doubt about that. But you'd rather they've done that than not getting behind. They're dragging the team back. Means Papadopoulos, and more importantly, Morales can go and find the space in between.
Morales was simply a menace last week. Well, Suso wears 7, Morales wears 77. Question is he 11 times the player? Buzid with a header, and Galvez trying to get involved. That's going to be a free kick. And Buzid again gets involved. Papadopoulos, the Greek international, born in Kazakhstan. And taken to the ground. Buzid does have that in him. He just doesn't hold off players, Joe.
No, he does tend to get very, very tight, you know, in the Scottish game and domestic game, I mean, we'll get away with that more often than not, but certainly at European level, you'll get pulled up more often than not.
Morales sends it long. Marek is waiting for it, little nudge. Very stop-start at the moment. Being called into the Croatian under-21 squad partly because of the way he played last week. Caught the eye of the national selectors. Craig Thompson onto Michael Stewart. Nadi hurdles his man. And Bishan taking no chances. Has to get involved tonight, Christian Nadi. He knows that. He must know he's under a great deal of pressure. Thompson to Suso. Suso tries the trick. It works. Low ball across. Butina dribbles it. And it's away by Bishan. Well, as far as Palazuelos. Well, there's some encouragement here for Hearts, but what they've got to watch is Mandzukic and Papadopoulos when they break. Buzid was good in the challenge that time.
Well, it's good refereeing there. He let Mandzukic go, and when he did eventually lose it, he pulled it up, but what a chance. Great trickery from Suso. Credit where credit's due. It's a wonderful little touch here. Again, the cross isn't great, but the keeper Butina makes a mess of it there and scrambles away. And these are the little things that you need to try and jump on, try and knock it at the back of the net to just try and get a foothold in this game.
Sublime from Suso. Balic onto Morales. Cut out well by Michael Stewart ahead of Badil. Balic away. Long. Galvez just wants to run that out. Good early possession from Hearts. Back at Tynecastle once more after 6 European games at Murrayfield, where they won 2 and lost 4. Papadopoulos onto Milan Badel. Martinez looked uncomfortable at the start of the match. Glenn tried to close him down. Good striking play. Buzid picked up Vergolia. Onto Samir. Zugic. Well, he caused lots of problems alongside Morales. Dinamo Zagreb fans want to make sure he goes nowhere. In it, but Abua is penalised. Well, the bad blue boys use the reputation they have. They've come to Edinburgh and enjoyed themselves so far. Quickly taken, lower cross. And Thompson snapped the ball out.
Well, that slack defending from Hearts, that schoolboy stuff, turning your back on the ball there. I think it was young Gary Glenn. They've just slipped in there. Fortunately, not a good delivery, but you have to keep an eye on these things.
Laverne into Papadopoulos into the foul throw about that one. And Gary Glenn and Mike and Calvez. Bishard. And Barracks will let it run. On to Carlos, the rangy fullback.
I think another early thing, Paul, Craig Levine touched on it in the studio last week about where Hearts press the game from. It's not balls tonight, but they're pressing it far higher up the park. They're not giving comfortable possession at the back for Zagreb. They're really pushing up the pitch to try and stop them early.
Samir in, Zaliukas slid of his own accord. Gary Glenn will send it off for David Abua. That early chance in the match for Hearts. Abua well tracked back. And again, it's the man Dejan Lovren. And Lovren, 20 years old, almost 100 appearances in the top league in Croatia. And he's very highly regarded.
Yeah, it must be some players, because the lad that came on last week, Tomacak, he was excellent. Really, another under 21 international, but he was superb. I thought he would start tonight, but Lovren has been excellent in the doors.
If you're just joining us and wondering about the black floodlight, there have been problems at Tynecastle. The backup generator to the main generator, which powers the floodlights, decided it was going to have a day off. It announced it in a plume of smoke. And the fire brigade still in attendance, still having a little look. Fire brigade still working, or at least that's what they're telling their boss.
Yeah, certainly, you know, you try in these days to get wee edge, Paul, but maybe if there are three go out, they've got a chance.
Barrett inside. Bouchard on the score sheet last week, closed down by Gary Glenn. Cecil keeps it in. That's only advisable if you know somebody's there to pick up. Morales into Samir. Dropped off towards Verdolyak. Palazuelos overhits Abua. Samir again. Morales. Mandzukic. Towering ball up. And Calvez. Back down the middle. Stewart and Samir collect. And Calvez goes in again. There's Lovren. Hands it to Abua. Now Suso started the game well. Far from full at Tynecastle. They're getting right behind their side. Thompson, low ball in. Thump clear onto Carlos. Captain Bichan doing it again. Mandzukic. Buzi trips himself. Mandzukic moves forward. It's 3 against 2. Mandzukic wanted it all his own way. Hearts were fortunate for the poor decision making. Papadopoulos pushes it wide.
Well, went from the sub-line to the digs. A wonderful play, hopefully for Craig Thompson there, up a lovely cross. And then Hearts get caught. Buzi trips over his own feet. Mandzukic, he's got 2 men to his right. I actually think if Papadopoulos, as you'll see here coming in, runs in the second defender, it leaves a wide man free, but they both stay out there. Thankfully for Hearts, he tries a shot and they manage to get it away.
Onto Nadi, breaks through, onto Gary Glenn, a little bit of space for Glenn, now Abua, that's desperate for the opening goal, Abua across, onto Gary Glenn, turns, just couldn't get it away!
Well, it's a half chance for the young man, but he's in there, and that's the positive points to take about. Abua tries a shot here, Gary Glenn, his first touch just doesn't quite get out his feet, tries to hit it with his second one, but that's good poaching, that's the kind of guy you need in the box, sniffing out chances.
Gary Glenn getting involved for Hearts. Well, it's Craig Thompson who's been spoken to by the referee at the moment. And Zukic is just complaining. You never mess with the little guys.
Certainly.
Good referee by a German referee, just trying to take the heat out of the situation. And he was being held, but he's got away well. Glenn's in the middle. It's delivered across Gary Glenn. Thomas Laputina came out very well indeed. Mistake. Michael Stewart puts it in and scores! What on earth was the goalkeeper doing? He fed possession back to Hearts, and Michael Stewart scores.
Yep, it's a deserved goal as well, but talk about pushing up there and squeezing in. You know, it's well played to be Bernardi. The keeper on the ground, Butina, terrible throw out there towards Verduca. Michael Stewart done really well. That's a great goal. They're unlucky here. It's a bad throw from the goalkeeper. Michael Stewart was saying, close it down on the pitch, wins it, gets a shot in. No way that Glenn's interfered with play. He's actually behind the goalkeeper. And maybe, just maybe, Hearts fans can start to believe.
Michael Stewart with a great left foot finish. When he scores for Hearts, it's always early in the season. It's ecstasy in August for Michael Stewart at Hearts. Michael Stewart thought for a moment he wasn't going to get it, but it is Hearts' way. And Michael Stewart, after 17 minutes, while everybody in the ground was looking at the back of the net where Gary Glenn was, and quite what Butina was doing.
I'm not so sure. I think the linesman had the flag up, but the referee just said no. He was not interfering with play. It's a goal. So good again. He's been very, very impressed with the referee in the opening 18-19 minutes here. But that's the kind of thing that you want Michael Stewart to show as a captain. Driving forward, winning the ball, having a pop at goal, and getting the goal. And as we say, we're only 18 minutes in. Slight way back into this tie.
Well, the captain's armband has been a curse for Hearts this season. It's finally a pleasure for Michael Stewart. Suso got caught. Samir can break away. This could end it. Good save. Very close to the goalkeeper, but you just worry every time Zagreb come forward.
What's going to happen? There's no doubt, you know, Hearts have to take chances, but you know, if they get themselves into this game, keep 1.5 times not bad. 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go. You never know, but there are going to be chances. Unfortunately, there, Samir's shot is right at Barlow.
Well, watch this, Christian Nani, great ball across. The goalkeeper gathers. Now, Badil was the target. It's bowled out to him. It's a dreadful first touch, robbed by Michael Stewart. And how's about that for a finish? Dragged right across the goalkeeper, and Michael Stewart with the goal.
Well, as we say, it's got Hearts back, a foothold back in this tie here. Terrible throw. You actually see the goalkeeper when he throws it there. He throws his hands up to warn his midfield player that the man's coming, but it's too late. The damage was done. Good pressing from Michael Stewart, high up the pitch like Craig Levine wanted last week, and Hearts have got the reward.
Michael Stewart scores in Europe for Hearts. Hearts have to be careful, and that's why Pedro Morales just broke himself free, and Janos Balog had to be there.
Well, we said it, Paul, but a team with this much talent, they're going to create chances. You know, that's the third, maybe fourth chance of getting the first 20 minutes. It's been a great game, you know, and if Hearts, for the sake of the tie, can get the next goal, this place will erupt, and then maybe, just maybe, Zagreb might start to panic.
We certainly hope so. Morales in, Glenn with the header away. Samir at the edge of the box, sends it back wide. Morales, Gary Glenn sliding in to the cause. Much more fight about Hearts tonight.
Well, it's amazing sometimes. You throw a couple of young lads, as young Thompson's in, Gary Glenn's in with a point to prove, that they give you that energy. You know, they may not have the experience, but they give you an energy and get you about the park.
Michael Stewart's first European goal for Hearts separates the sides. Lovren battling away, he's pulling the jersey. The referee will award the free kick. He's been solid so far. The man has 7 years experience in the Bundesliga, and he's controlling the match well.
Yeah, the referee's done a good start to the game. He's let play go, he's pulled it up when there's no advantage. He ignored the linesman's flag for the goal quite rightly, so far so good.
Christian Strong with a header. Well, he's got his worried face on now. Michael Stewart gives the ball away. Carlos in field. Morales. Waddell battled for it. That's good play from Zaliukas coming through Papadopoulos. Thompson though can't link with Nadi. There's a little edge about Tynecastle now, John.
Yeah, there certainly is, and you know, we spoke about it last week. Despite the talents that this Zagreb team have got, which are wonderful, they are a young side, and you never know. You know, maybe just one more goal could really, you know, get them a wee bit nervous, and you know, it's still a tough ask for Hearts. But certainly, you know, after a quarter of the game, you know, they're in the tank.
One goal in each quarter for Hearts without conceding. We'll see us go to extra time. Let's not get ahead of ourselves just yet. Michael Stewart, first Hearts player to score at Tynecastle here since Andy Webster. Pinned across by Thompson. Back out to the goal scorer. Forward towards Nadi, flicked it on. Gary Glenn in behind the defence, just wouldn't fall for him. Ishan got the ball away well. Suso tried the tricks. Adele tries to bring it away. Slides past Palazuelos. Papadopoulos onto Samir. Neat short passing, and usually the long passes are good too. Zukic should be caught on his heels there.
Yeah, but as you say, there's a good tempo to the game. You look at Hearts, you know, the season they were in the end well beaten by Dundee United in the first half. Terrible in Zagreb, we all know that, but there's a huge improvement on Sunday, and again tonight it looks like they're gaining a wee bit more confidence. They're passing the ball, they're closing it down quicker. You know, it's something tonight they can at least build on as the match goes on.
Well, Hearts fans were looking for reasons to be cheerful. We could have had one inside 2 minutes if David Abu had netted Michael Stewart 15 minutes later. Hearts 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0. Touched on by Abua. Ishan got caught there by Christian Nadi. You can hear the scream from here in the back of the opposite stand.
Yeah, just a wee bit late from Nadi there, but he's shown a wee bit more movement tonight, you know, and then he has got a point to prove. You know, Vittenveen, I think, picked up an injury. You know, Christian Nadi's got to lead the line. He's took stick, and in certain quarters, rightly so, for his performances so far this season. But again, tonight gives him a very, very good platform to launch his season.
Samir draws the applause of his manager despite conceding the throw. Calves to Nadi. Glenn goes chasing after it. The flag was already up.
Yeah, I think he just, again, Gary Glenn, his eagerness, which is good in one way for Hearts. He wants to get on the other side of the defenders, but he just strayed a yard too far there for the flick on. You'll see here, he's just a wee bit keen, a yard offside. But again, you know, you've just got to keep trying there. One time the lines, you might not quite get it, and he's in for a goal.
Low, poor ball. It's not what we've come to expect from 8 goals already this term. Scored 3 in his last 3 European matches, including the first leg. With the full-back, Lavrak.
And Zukic certainly not shy when it comes to shooting the balls we saw last week, and I'm sure his green boots will probably attract the attention of 1 or 2 of the Gorgie faithful tonight.
A little bit of battling going on here, elbows starting to flare. Samir and Goncalves. The nicest guys you could meet was Goncalves too.
I don't think there's too much of that. I think he actually slipped there on but might be one of the nicest guys you would like to meet, but certainly physically it looks quite intimidating.
Long throw towards Nadi, and they gave it the effort, couldn't keep it in. Well, Hearts ahead here to go through 90 minutes and have to replicate the biggest home win in Europe. That was against FC Lantana of Estonia 11 years ago. It's the only team I've ever seen that one of the substitutes got a camera with him, and as he sat he just took pictures from the dugout. It was wonderful. Verdoljak into Samir, back inside to Verdoljak, goes out to Palazuelos. Big Thompson towards Gary Glenn. Adele failed to pick it up. There's Michael Stewart. Nice touch. On to Nadi. Nadi tried to slip it through almost. Samir to Babilyak. Suso for Hearts. Thompson is wide. Gonna get away. Carlos does it. That's a good left-footed cross. Abua goes up. Gary Glenn knocks it down. Michael Stewart rattles the bar. What a double that would have been for the skipper.
Well, if that goes in, it is pandemonium here. Wonderful play there. Craig Thompson, lovely ball at the back post. Abua knocks it down. Great spot from Glenn. And Michael Stewart can get that down. It's 2-0 and then the place erupts. Still a chance.
I thought he did really well to give it as much down as he could. Deep corner. Header comes in from Bouzid. What a good period of play for Hearts.
Well, it certainly is. You look at that, Abua's missed a snip. Michael Stewart, we see here, the ball bounces just up. It gets great technique. It's a deflection, actually. That takes it onto the crossbar. There's nothing wrong with that. And then another half chance here for Bouzid. You know, if Hearts are going to get it right back to the 4 goals, they need to take these half chances, but what a start.
Carlos drops the ball down, gets it back, gives it away, on to Thompson. Craig Thompson has started well. Suso's in the mood tonight too, moving away from Badell. Suso, and the referee will give the free kick. Well, he rode the challenge as long as he could, and eventually the free kick.
Excellent refereeing again. He done it earlier on. He's done it again. Let's play continue.
Thompson in. Glenn knocks it back. Palazuelos blocked by Samir. Abua, that's too far for Palazuelos.
Very encouraging for Hearts, so you know, we said it's week on week they're slowly improving, which can only be good for the league form, but I'm sure when we'll see this replay again on the last seat at half time, I think there's an unbelievable block, just gets a deflection to take it up on top of the crossbar there that we perhaps didn't see from any other angle.
14 goals in the last 17 European matches. 6 of the 14 came in 2 games against Braga and Cherokee Briyeg. Hearts haven't been prolific in Europe. And Michael Stewart, well, he got one and he came so close to getting a second. Here's the little deflection, just enough to take it onto the bar.
I think there's a better angle than that, Paul. I think the one we'll see from the byline, you'll see that it definitely takes the ball higher up and rattles against the bar.
Encouraging for Hearts, but they have to be careful at the back. Carlos, Morales, Adele loses out. Thompson just takes it too far, was lucky, went into the challenge a little bit recklessly. And Zaniukas awaits 2-on-2 for Hearts if Nadi can get away. Nadi rumbling through the middle, not a sight any defender wants to see.
No, it isn't, but again, it's encouraging for Hearts. You know, they're knocking these balls long, they're getting bodies around it, they're playing in a great tempo, and at this moment in time, you say, well, it's not exactly rattled Zagreb, but they've certainly got them on the back foot.
Well, if they're not rattled, they're certainly squeaking. Morales. Zagreb halted at the weekend, 0-0. They still lead the Croatian Championship. They still comfortably lead this tie. Hearts can continue to get in and amongst them. Who knows? Maric sends it along. Well, the referee's allowing play to continue. Samir. Badell onto Lovren. Lovren's shot. Calves brings it away. Nadi won't reach it. Maric gives it away again. Suso taking on Carlos. Gets past him, drives it into Nadi. Nadi just had to try and flick it out a little bit better onto Suso. Well, it's been good so far. I'm sure the ex-Hearts boss and the current Scotland boss is enjoying it. Scotland go into action next weekend. It's against Macedonia, and you can see highlights on the BBC. Here comes Michael Stewart again. On to Abua. Glenn in the middle, so too Nadi. And the targets, Bishan drops it away onto Samir. Verdowiak. Tall, rangy player, likes to move the ball quickly, he's done so. Morales, less of a threat so far in the match. Verdowiak goes down under the challenge of David Abua. Lukic across onto Samir. Good defending that time. Calves. Samir got the better of second time round. Lavron. So the 1-2, Hearts should pick up there. Michael Stewart and Gary Glenn. Back up, trying to drive forward. Zaliukas, the captain. It's going to be too much for Glenn. Carlos robbed by his own player. And why not Winnie Morales? Zaliukas, joint captain of course at Tynecastle, vice captain on the field. It's very confusing. Bettina, another mistake, on to Glenn. Glenn's going to go for it. The goalkeeper is well back. The goalkeeper's nervous. He's an ex-international. He's played in European Championships, World Cups. He looks nervous.
He's probably the most experienced player, as I said, Paul. He looks the most nervous a lot, but it's just a pity young Gary Glenn couldn't get it down and hit it first time. But certainly now, if Hearts can get this goalkeeper, he is one who's certainly flapping.
Gary Glenn all over the field, but loses out that time. Mandzukic with a step over. Just behind Papadopoulos. Pumping clearance from Marius Zaliukas. Perhaps improving the communication. Seemed to be lacking last midweek. Glenn upended. Verdowiak and Glenn exchange pleasantries. Calves, Bishan, easy header away. Papadopoulos. So Samir, chased by the Spaniard Palazuelos. That's good play, dogged play from Palazuelos. Nothing comes of it, but again sets the tone.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give credit where it's due. You know, Hearts tonight, they look a totally different side. As their willingness to close down, the pace of the game. You've got to keep this up though, that, you know, the longer they can keep going and nick another goal, then they're still falling for this time.
Zagreb's coach said they were up for this, they weren't going to be complacent, and Barrel goes to try and prove that fact. Cracking right foot shot.
Well, we saw his danger in the first leg as well when he does get forward, and as we said, you've got to expect Zagreb with their quality to open up parts, and with Hearts pushing forward to get more goals, it is going to open up. Wonderful efforts, maybe a bit of feet too high.
Scored in Europe already this season, 3 goals this term. And Michael Stewart just trying to marshal his Hearts side. Nadi was clever there. Glenn goes up to battle, comes down to Nadi and Glenn. Back onto Stewart. To the vicinity of Abua. That was out of play. Hearts looking for a better performance here to take into Sunday, and sports and results of course on Saturday. All the SPL action, join us 4:30, all the results from around the grounds, and then all the SPL action with Richard Gordon. Monday night 10:45, all the action from the weekend. or two drinks being taken on, one or two words coming from the coaches. We know that Csaba Laszlo can move a bit, but Krunoslav Juric certainly likes a little dance around on the touchline too, John.
Yeah, certainly could be a bit of WWF down there. But Csaba, to be fair, has been a lot calmer this season. He seems to have taken a more pragmatic approach. He's maybe settling down to life in Edinburgh.
Lucas goes down by Papadopoulos. Looks like he needs a booster seat from there. Barbaric forward. Lucas tries to block the pull of the jersey. Mandzukic, and he's lucky not to see a card.
Well, that's what frustrates you about Marcel Lucas. He does so many good things at times and undoes it with. That's just carelessness, you know. It's slack. It's, you know, there's nothing happening here. The boy's going nowhere. Look, that is a yellow card offence, you know. And we saw what happened to Gary Caldwell in the Scotland match for something as silly as that.
Lucas catches a break. Actually, a couple of red cards in his time, Marius Lucas. As Morales goes for it well wide, you can tell from the reaction of the goalkeeper, he was unconcerned.
Well, we saw in Zagreb we can hit them, but this is well wide. And that's one of the intriguing things tonight, Paul, is that last week Morales was the star man. He was magnificent, he found the space. He's not getting that tonight, you know. The critical being that, as you said, had pointed out that Hearts need to squeeze the game, keep it nice and tight. And he's not had any room to play.
We'll hear from Craig Levin and Billy Dodds with Diggy Donnelly at half-time. Encouraging so far from Hearts. A second goal before half-time would be ideal. Gary Glenn just trying to run off, knock in the back. Bruising forward. Carlos just allows it to run out of play. From Sao Paulo. Thompson on to Sousa, that's out of play. Well, it's been an interesting time for Craig Thompson. He's been coming up against Morales. Mandzukic, how's he done, John?
I think the young lad settled in. You know, he had a very nervous first touch when he ended up knocking it back to the keeper, but he's got up, you know, he's doing what you want your fullback to do. He's tucking in, he's covering his defenders, he's getting tight to his wide man. He's been up a couple of times, put a couple of decent crosses in, you know, wonderful ball for Abua when Michael Stewart hit the bar, so the young lad can be well pleased with his first half performance.
Lucas somewhat pulled out of position on a poor pass across for Badel that time. The Hearts have kept up the record of Scots side scoring in all 5 games at home against sides from Croatia. The opening goal, Csaba Laszlo would have been delighted to welcome after 17 minutes. Hearts could do with another, just to sow some seeds of doubt. Mandzukic against Thompson. Thompson can't get there. Carlos happy to advance. Didn't want to come on the inside. He's weaker right foot with defending for Palazuelos. Stewart quickly on to Glenn. Now Abua. Nadi out wide and onside. Christian Nadi. Touch was poor. Well, there's a problem too for Christian Nadi. I'm wondering, as he stumbled, John, the calf becomes a problem.
Well, this is where you look for him to put the ball in the box, and he overruns it. It's great defending, but he allows the defender a chance to get back. I think he may have twisted his ankle just here. He's whacked against him. Certainly nothing much in that.
That's a sore one going down.
Maybe he's just twisted his ankle on the way down, but I think his first touch was fine. I think it was his second or third that it's bobbled up, it's hit his shin, and it's allowed the defender to get back. But that's what frustrates the fans with Christian Nani. He's found room on the left-hand side. It's a wonderful ball through. There's just nothing in the last third that you know, where you really need it.
15 appearances without a goal for Christian Nadi. He was involved in that move. Now watch the goalkeeper. Milan Badel didn't want it. Dreadful first touch, but that's how to rob somebody, drive through. That's a great goal from Michael Stewart.
Yeah, and this is the angle there. You've just missed the goalkeeper. He realises he's made a hash of it. He tries to tell his midfield player that there's a man coming. And as you're saying, if Michael Stewart's second shot that gets deflected up onto the bar goes in, you know, we've got a tie on all of a sudden.
Not been blanked too often at home, Hearts only failed to score in 8 of 33 at home in European competition. And Michael Stewart on the score sheet, Christian Nadi on the sidelines. Trying to move forward, not caught out for the goal, it's caught out again and gives away the free kick. I was quite impressed with him in Zagreb, but he struggled a little bit in this game.
But that's what happens, you know. Sometimes you see, you know, the foreign teams, they play really, really well away from home. They come over here and they do get a wee bit nervous. There are good signs, you know. It takes top quality to go away and at home to produce a performance all the time. And you know, fair credit to the coach, he's played a full strength team because he knew he had to try and kill this tie, which one goal does.
They've drawn both their away matches in Europe so far this term. They're behind here at Tynecastle. Carlos. Mislav Barbaric. Second European start of the season. Involved in all 5 games. Clocking up plenty of experience. Lovren. On to Samir. Galvez has played him well. It's not easy for Gary Glenn. He's up against a centre defender who's won the Champions League.
Yeah, but that's good experience for him, and he'll learn from tonight, you know, and he's given a good account of himself so far. He's been busy. His touch could have been slightly better, but he's certainly not disgraced himself, and he's given Hearts some much needed energy up front.
Christian Nadi continues to struggle. Gary Glenn looks across at his strike partner.
Well, I hope he keeps going, because I'm, you know, looking at the bench, unless they maybe bring Andrew Driver on and push a ball through the middle, there's not really much else in the striking department for Hearts.
Well, it could be Abua, not a goal scorer either, as Papadopoulos comes through. Forward on to Abua. Abua against Lovren. The right full-back looks every bit as good as we were led to believe.
Very, very impressed with him tonight. He looks really top drawer.
He's been called into the Croatian squad, yet to play full international level. Hearts through Abua. Carlos wasn't sure, he had to get a touch on it now. There'll be 1 additional minute to be played here at Tynecastle. She's almost got the shots over Carlos. Well, Carlos was playing with Hearts there.
1 minute of additional time. There's a minimum of 1 minute to play.
Nothing silly now from Hearts.
No, I mean, you know, they've got the goal, and we were saying that 1-0 at half-time is not a disaster. Again, a goal in the first 20 minutes of the second half, and suddenly with 20 odd minutes to go, 2-0 up with a passing score. Right, you never know. But as I've said, must not concede a goal right now in the interval.
Samir quite fancies the shot, and if they want to shoot like that, Hearts will be more than happy. Without a win in the last 6 away in Europe, Dinamo Zagreb, they were thumped down in London at White Hart Lane 4-0 in the UEFA Cup group stages. Hearts don't quite have them on the back foot enough yet, but there's still a little glimmer of hope as night falls in Edinburgh. Galvez to Abua and Michael Stewart. Almost back inside to Michael Stewart. Morales. Verdoljak uncomfortable, and the referee has decided enough is enough. But the Hearts fans have seen undoubtedly the best 45 minutes of the season so far, inspired by the man with the captain's armband. His first goal for Hearts since February's first goal in European competition. Butina throws it out. Badel didn't want it, poor first touch, But look at the way Michael Stewart got in and about them. Lovely cross finish. The goal with the left foot. The Hearts fans are happy. It could have been 2. Knocked across by Gary Glenn. It just takes a deflection. Bichak closing down Michael Stewart as it rattled the bar. We wanted character from Hearts. They've shown it so far. Half-time, Hearts 1, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Interesting, perhaps more interesting than we thought. Certainly a very different game from last week, Craig, isn't it?
Thankfully so, yes. That's much, much better. I mean, last week, everything that was wrong about last week, they've remedied this week. They're pressing the ball higher up the pitch. OK, they're holding a higher line, as we'll see, but and they'll have to take a chance. I mean, as it stands, they're out of the tie. So they need to take a chance, and I think they have done. If Michael Stewart's chance had gone in, I mean, we'd have been sitting here thinking they've got a real chance in the second half. Still a lot to do, but I'm so much happier watching that than I was at this time last week.
And as poor as Hearts were last week and as good as Zagreb were last week, suddenly they look at quite a nervous side. The quality's still there, but you suddenly begin to think another goal and it could get very interesting.
They were showing signs. I'm not saying they were totally rocking, but they were showing signs. And Craig's right, where they were pressing high up the pitch, but they were pressing with numbers this week. It wasn't just going in ones and then they just pass it round you, because we know that they find nice little spaces. It was going in numbers, pressing. Yeah, they were high up, but you've got to take chances. You're 4-0 down. If you're going to try and win this game, you've got to go and press in numbers, take a few chances, get the first goal. It's been lovely to get a second goal. I'd love to see this team, especially their goalkeeper, going 2-0 down. Now that would have been something to see.
Yeah, well, it could yet happen. 45 minutes to go. We're not getting carried away, but there are encouraging signs. In fact, Hearts could have scored with only about a minute and a half on the clock. David Abua, who'd really had a terrific chance here, and what a start this would have been.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that makes it a really good chance is that it comes to his left foot, and he's very strong on his left side. He almost looked as if he was surprised that the ball got through to him. I don't know if he thought it was maybe going to get cut out in the front post area. But just anything with decent contact on target gives him a chance of scoring.
The pace is on it, isn't it? He just actually hits his right foot when you see it.
But look at the Hearts players in the box. They're getting numbers up, as they have to do.
One thing I would like to see more is more Hearts players in the box, especially this one. Brilliant from Suso, the goalkeeper. Look,
Billy Dodge would have been in there, wouldn't he?
Well, I think
I'm serious.
It's
a natural striker would have been on top of the keeper, wouldn't he?
You're looking for the goalkeeper to make a mistake. He does. I mean, the first man there's the centre half, as he should be doing as well. But I'd like to see more Hearts players having a little gamble.
Good skill from Suso. I think in general, Hearts have looked on the front foot an awful lot more than they've done in previous. Here again on the front foot, attacking the ball as it drops in midfield. Again, this is a decent pass. But look at the Hearts bodies in the picture. Much better than last week. There's 4-5 in the box, and that was a good chance for Gary Glenn. He scores goals at every level, and that was a great chance for him.
I wish that touch hadn't popped up on him so far away. He'd been able to take it quicker because the defender was able to close him down. But again, encouraging. That's all you can say. It was good play. Got it wide, decent ball in the box, just can't get enough cover. The goalkeeper's having one, let's be honest. And you would play on him. Well, they actually got a free kick. Hearts, when you think just put it right on top of them, and they played it square and they had the chance was gone, but terrible touch as well. Terrible touch as well, but you're away from home, you're slowing the game down, you're 4-0 up, you don't throw it to your midfielder who's 25 yards out for him to take a bad touch. And I mean, he should save it for me.
It's right in the middle of the goals. He should say that. I don't know. I think he's flapped a little bit, having thrown the ball away. He hasn't got his position right to save it after that. But he came for a corner that he missed. There was a header at the back post. His first 2 clearances just about hit the Hearts players. He's fumbled one. He's thrown one out. I mean, and Billy's right. There was a free kick. Put the ball on top of him. Because he looks like he's flapping to me.
Yeah, great awareness from Michael Stewart. They've got to give credit there. Read the situation, nicked it and stuck it in the net.
Yeah. Having said that, they are a quality side. We've seen how strong they are on the counter-attack, and because of the way Hearts have to play this game, they will leave spaces at the back, and it's just a case of hoping that Zagreb can't take one, Craig.
Yeah, this was a square ball that was cut out, but in good skill, great reverse pass, and I think this just clips the post on the way past. But so what? OK, I mean, Hearts lost 4 goals last week. They're going to have to be prepared to lose goals to score some this week. And I think that Chaba generally tends to be quite conservative with his teams. He has to really take a chance. I'm glad that he has, but they're going to have heart-in-the-mouth moments like this one, because they need to push players further up the pitch. This is another decent chance. I think if he'd squared that ball, then it would have given Zagreb a better chance of scoring.
one thing they'll have to do is be able to man-to-man mark defending and get full-backs forward at some time in the game. Again, they're going to have their chances. Craig said it's a good chance, it's a decent save as well, but the goalie's going to have to make saves. They're going to have to play a high line. They're going to have to mark man for man in the second half, because maybe half an hour to go, they've got to get full backs involved, push more men forward, get your wide midfielders. If the full backs push on, get them up front and get them to try and create chances for you.
Yeah. You both mentioned that the high line that the Hearts are taking, that have to defend up the pitch, which is pushing the midfield on and getting men into the box, obviously. And a couple of good examples of how you can get caught that way.
Yeah, the danger with this is you lose the ball in midfield, and one pass can defeat the line. That last one that they saw, I think, was actually onside. You know, and again, here's another one here, that high line. And if this ball's maybe chipped or played just a little bit further away from the Hearts player, then they're through one-on-one. But again, for me, take the chance, because what they're doing is, by playing a high line, they're forcing their midfield players further up the pitch. They're forcing the strikers further up the pitch. And last week, Zagreb were excellent at the back, playing out, because Hearts sat off them.
Yeah.
They're at Tynecastle, they've got the crowd behind them. Press as high up the pitch as you can and get the crowd even more on your side. And I think they'll have a chance of scoring more
The good
goals.
thing about it, Dougie, that was earlier on in the half as well. And nothing did come of it, and they didn't look so shaky after that. Hearts, they kind of sorted it. The chances created by Zagreb were more down the side and a cross coming in the box and a chance, but they sorted it out, and it was early on in the half.
Yeah, and you've got the goalkeeper's blood in your nostrils, Billy, clearly. There's Tomislav Butina.
Well, I'd be tested.
He wasn't tested at all last week. He looked perfectly competent, but tonight, every time he comes for a ball, every time a shot comes in, you don't fancy him, do you?
No, I think after they lost the goal, I think his confidence just faded away. And I mean, you can't really blame him there. The ball's in the box, a good knockdown, and if he keeps it down, he scores, and it would have been interesting.
Do you not think he was in no man's land a little bit here? He comes out, he's about 4 yards off his line, and I think if Gary Glenn had headed the ball back towards goal, I mean, I'm not blaming him for heading it down there, because it was good vision. I think if he tried to loop the ball over the goalkeeper, there might have been an opportunity to score there, because the goalkeeper was in no man's land.
Certainly shaky. I mean, right away he comes, but he just can't deal with anything now. And a little bit of awareness here maybe could have been taken earlier. He's able to get back and smother it, but he's certainly there to give Hearts another goal, I feel. And I would be testing that free kick. With Craig and I were both saying, right, here's a chance, put it in with pace, see if he'll come for it, see if he'll drop it, and they just played it square. Couldn't believe it.
You both said it. If we had just got a second goal before half-time, it really would be interesting. And it can still happen, obviously. I mean, I'd be interested to see how Zagreb play it in the second half. Yeah,
I mean, what the second goal before half-time would have done would have changed the team talk in the Zagreb dressing room and changed the feeling in the Hearts dressing room. Now, a quick goal in the second half can do the same thing, but it needs to be, you know, I can see how if Hearts get a goal in the first 10 minutes of the second half, and I know what it's like at Tynecastle, and looking at just how shaky Zagreb are, they've got a chance.
Yes, yeah. The next goal is crucial. We say that a lot, but in this case, it's absolutely right, isn't it? Zagreb get it, game's over. Yeah. Hearts get it.
Game on for me.
Very much so,
I really do think that, and that's what Shabalazzo's got to be saying to his players and making them believe that. We get a goal. It's time scales in the game where if you do get it early, then they will. I can see them really starting to panic. If it gets maybe half an hour through the second half, I think they'll be comfortable, but you must test them. They must give themselves a chance, and sometimes a little bit with the ball with Hearts. Retention, you know, don't just get it and hoof up the pattern, try and go direct, because all it's doing is giving them the ball back. It's a hard shift to make sure you're tight and get forward and score a goal. They've got to maybe try and keep the ball retention a little bit more.
It's only 1-0, we're not getting carried away, but the second half could yet be very interesting indeed. Let's just turn our attention to today's other big news. That was, of course, the Champions League draw. And, well, I think Rangers could have done a lot worse than they have done. Sevilla, the number 1 seeds in the group, Stuttgart from Germany, and the Romanians, Unaria Urzicen, who are the Romanian champions. They're going to be a decent side. Of course they are. There are no bad teams at this level, but I think Rangers could have got it a lot tougher, Craig.
I hesitate to say great draw, but let's be honest. Let's be honest, it is, isn't it? I mean, some of the teams that they could have got, where you'd have been saying, well, out, no chance. But I'm looking at the teams that they've got. I mean, the Romanian champions, we won. A lot of people in Scotland will say, well, there's Rangers will pick up points there. Might be the most difficult of the lot, to be honest, because they finished above Steaua Bucharest. So, but I hesitate because I don't want to get carried away, but that does look a decent draw.
Yeah, it looks also like the kind of group, Billy, where they'll all take points off each other, and it could go down to the last couple of matches.
Well, remember that I think your Stuttgarts, and I'm not even going to try and say the remaining team, they're going to be thinking the exact same thing. This is a chance for us to progress. But as Champions League draws go, you'd be delighted with that, and I'm sure they'll be thinking, maybe not first, but definitely potential second. And as Craig said, with some of the teams that were there that they could have had and put them probably right away, I think I'd be grabbing that with both. I'd be delighted as a player still there if that was a draw.
But having said that, it's a Spanish team, it's a German team, and the Romanians they may not travel all that well. That's sometimes a problem with teams from Eastern Europe, but they'll be strong, they'll be organised, and they must be a good side. Yeah,
they will be, and they will be very hard to beat at home. Absolutely no doubt about that. Walter's not going to say it's a fantastic draw, is he? So I'll say it for him.
Could have done a whole lot worse, couldn't they? And of course, Rangers will go into it with a new chairman, with Alistair Johnston, my old pal, taking over from David Murray after 20 years. What's David Murray's legacy to Rangers, Billy? You were a player there.
I think there's a few, isn't there? Murray Park, the FA Cup final. Percentages, Dougie. He's, mostly success as well. He was always about the place, very vocal as a chairman, had a bit of banter with you. Didn't always agree with everything he said, but great chairman to work under. And, there is a lifespan of a chairman, and he's decided to get out now. And he admitted it yesterday. He was just there to unfurl the flag, and that was it. But you can only say success and Murray Park for the future as well.
Yeah. And Craig, the relationship between the manager and the chairman is key in any football club. And he and Walter Smith have had a terrific relationship both times. Yeah. I mean, Walter took over from Graham Souness and did a great job. And then, you can tell it's a good relationship when he goes back to Walter when things aren't going particularly well. I think what he did do is revolutionise Scottish football, if you remember, because he was the one that brought in the big names from England. And the
then
Butchers and the Woods and all these.
Johnson.
He certainly did that. He changed the face of Scottish football. And I think after 20 years in football, most people get fed up. And he's done well staying in a high-pressure job at that for such a long time.
But he's still the majority shareholder. I think his influence will still be felt. I have no doubt about that. Just a quick word on the other results around the Europa League tonight. It's still 0-0 between Villa and Rapid Vienna. Vienna, of course, 1-0 up from the first leg. Everton held to a 1-1 draw, or at least held Sigma Olomouc to a 1-1 draw, despite being down to 10 men after just 7 minutes. So Everton safely through. And Fulham lost 1-0 to Amkar Perm tonight, but still go through 3-2 on aggregate. So already Everton and Fulham through. And Hearts, well, their chance is certainly not completely gone. It's 1-0 at half-time at Tynecastle. Michael Stewart getting the goal. And an early goal in the second half, and well, we remain optimistic. This is the goal. Terrible throughout, bad first touch by the defender, and well taken by Michael Stewart. So 1-0 to Hearts. They still need to score 3 to even take it into extra time. Let's keep our fingers crossed for them. Back once again to John and Paul.
Thank you, Dougie. I got caught between trying to find out what Hearts' record comeback was and what Hearts' record defeat in Europe was. Csaba Laszlo has accentuated the positive. He is wanting a big win here tonight, and his side have the opening goal, they have the lead, and they look to continue a fine record that Scottish sides have against Croatian teams in this country. Both Dunfermline and Hibs have scored 4 times against Croatian sides. They won both occasions by 4 goals to 2. Hearts, of course, cannot afford at any stage to concede, or this one is done and dusted. No changes to Hearts at half-time. Christian Nadi took a knock just before the interval, but he's okay. And he'll take his place once more, leading the Hearts attack. Some words there from Marius Zaliukas. Seems to be a bit of fight amongst these Hearts players after the disappointment they had at Tannadice, the Maximir Stadium, and of course disappointment here on Sunday, John.
Well, I think the professionalism first is, that's the first commitment the Hearts fans will look for, is to come out and show pride in the jersey, show pride in their professionalism, to go forward and win the game tonight. That was the first thing. Win the game, stop the rot, 3 defeats in a row, get a bit of passion and pride back into the club. And they've done that in the first half. They've done that against Rangers in the first half. What they've got to do now is show an improvement and take it all the way. See the game through. If they could get a second goal, marvellous. This place will erupt, and they've got a wee chance of sneaking back the tie. Even if they go on to win the game, it gives them a platform for the rest of the season.
Well, there's a man who's been a little bit nervous throughout. Thomas Lamputina, 3 clean sheets and 5 in Europe this term, coming into tonight, conceding against Michael Stewart after 17 minutes. Hearts have had their chances. Papadopoulos and Mandzukic will look to try and put Hearts to the sword very quickly at the start of the second half. Rain falling around Tynecastle. 3 out of 4 floodlights are working, and it's casting enough lights on proceedings. 3 floodlights working, 3 goals required. Hearts are looking to try and put some pressure on very early indeed. Zagreb will know 1 goal will put this to bed, but Hearts want them to be up a little while longer. Confirmation of the sides, Hearts unchanged at the start of the second half. So to the visitors. Waddell, Mandzukic. Carlos not happy with the attention he received. Papadopoulos had the boot up slightly high. Has to be said, Zaliukas was also moving down. He's taken a sore one in the face.
I think from the reaction of Zagreb players, there may be a bit of blood here. I don't know if he just catches it. Oh, there you are, a knee in the nose. But you know, just a wee bit earlier there, Gary Glenn, just that's the one little bit of his game he has to work at there. He got the ball and twice tried to play it through there and lost it, and Zagreb come back. But yeah, that's a sore one for Zaliukas. He may well have to go off and get that treated.
Well, Shaba Laszlo just has a little look. Well, these fans do have a reputation, and the flares already going off. They kept their powder dry to the start of the second half. Just not something we're used to seeing, John.
I thought that was a floodlight again there, Paul.
There's a real pall of smoke over Tynecastle. These fans are used to 1 or 2 additional policemen being drafted in. It should be said that the Dinamo Zagreb fans were praised by the London police when they went to White Hart Lane, despite their side losing by 4 goals to 0. They behaved exceptionally well. Zaliukas thankfully is up, with Marshall giving him some treatment. And so the second half grinding very quickly to a halt. Stewart puts the ball on to Gary Glenn. That's good play from the man from Livingston. Trying to move away from Morales. Abua waits for it, but the offside flag is up. That's starting to get a little careless with the offsides they're picking up.
That one's slack, because you know David Abua, look, you can see right along the line there is absolutely no need for him to get caught offside there. That is just laziness. You can see along the line, give himself a yard. You know, he's quick, he's good in the air. If he's a yard the other side, he can go and attack that, and it becomes a dangerous situation. But that's just switching off completely.
Morales, Mandzukic. Remember, still temporarily down to 10 men. Lucas continues to have problems with blood. And he's now back okay, all been wiped off. And a warm reception. Jan Lovren. Tough ball back to him. Gary Glenn goes after it. Glenn onto Nadi, sliding across on Bishan. Well, the referee didn't like it. From up here, John, didn't look too bad.
It certainly looked as if he got the ball maybe again. I think, you know, he's coming in from behind, perhaps there, but no, it looked a good tackle. I think Christian Nadi made a bit of it, to be fair. It was Bishan's a bit unlucky.
Definitely caught the ball. I think he caught him with his trailing arm, if anything. That looked a fair challenge. Is up and about, struggling again. Galvez in the middle. Urbanic not doing well. Nadi battling for it. Urbanic again drops down. Gary Glenn goes in. The nerves of Dinamo Zagreb continue to fray.
They do, but I'll get Barbaric's due there. That's very, very cool play. He's always seen where Gary Glenn was, decided a little touch back. I'm sure his manager wouldn't have appreciated it at the time, but got back to the keeper.
Gary Glenn, delightful first touch, good second. Step over was decent. The pass away, almost perfect. Igor Gishka was waiting for it. Galvez, good shepherding job. And stealing so many yards.
Yeah, he tried to get it going again. A wonderful play for Gary Glenn, and as I said, I'm a big admirer of this lad. There's a sharpness about him, there's a positive now about him, a lovely wee turn here, and the pass just doesn't quite reach Christian Nadi there. But he gives an energy, he gives a drive that the Hearts have been lacking so far.
Well, given the striking situation around Tynecastle, it could be a big season for Gary Glenn. His 20th appearance for Hearts tonight. Once again, half the throw. Rigoya getting it out of play. Nadi up to win the header. Should be easily taken down, and as Morales, the Chilean international player, goes, sends it on the angle, and Zukic looks for it. And just enough of a touch on Zaliukas to make him go down, but it was soft.
That's more than soft to me. I think a guy of Zaliukas' size should be able to stay up there. He plays for it, he knocks it there. I mean, he's tapped on the shoulder. I would rather he stayed up there. Okay, he's won the free kick for Hearts, but you like your big centre half to be a wee bit stronger than that. He
wouldn't survive 5 minutes in Princess Street on a Saturday afternoon. Good atmosphere inside Tynecastle. The home fans trying to give them their backing. Christian Nadi plays ball boy for a moment. Albrandt with a long throw. And Zukic sent that out of play. It should be Hearts ball, and is. Poor from Hearts. Adele opens up. And Morales. On to Papadopoulos. Ominously quiet. Samir. And Zukic. Ball headed away. That's a left foot hit, and that was a decent hit too from Leveron. Aaron Suso robs Carlos. Suso away from his man, continues to go, and got taken out. That's a free kick. Perhaps a touch fortunately over on the ball. Christian Nadi may well be coming off. I think he's done for the day. But Suso's had a couple of great runs tonight.
Yeah, he's had a couple of good runs here. He just gets his head up. Christian Nadi again is a striker. He has to run. He has to run off the defender in front of him. He knows he's offside. Suso, yeah, he's taken it to play. It's definitely a free kick. That's where Christian Nadi has to be a bit cuter and just run off the defender he can see and know he's definitely onside.
Craig Thompson over the ball. Not a good delivery. And Zukic lifts up the leg and thumps it away. And he goes down. It's another free kick. Well, Nadi, he might not have too much longer on the field, but you want the Frenchman to give everything. Gordon Smith continues to get ready. Shambo Laszlo with some final words. What a night to come on and make your debut for Hearts. Bouzid is up. Here's a European goal for Galatasaray. Can there be one for Hearts? Thompson stands. Decent ball in, there's confusion all over the place, and Lovren got the final touch. That's a corner.
Well, once again, the goalkeeper is Bouterouz all over the place there. He came, he stopped, he's not sure what he's doing, and just about scrambled in. And if I was Hearts, I'd get the big guys in front of that goalkeeper, throw it on top and see what he's made of.
Quickly and eagerly they go. Good delivery, solid header away. Hisham was up there, falls through Zaliukas! It fell for Zaliukas, and he guided it into the net. Hearts have their second after 54 minutes. They're keeping the dream alive.
Game on now, that's what I said. The ball's put in there. A terrible clearance right at the edge of the box. It drops it to Lucas, just like the first one. Wasn't the greatest right you've seen in the world, but he managed to knock it away. Here's a terrible clearance on Samir. He just likes it again. A player, Susu, coming from offside. This time, could technically, I suppose, be involved in play if you keep an eye on Boozy. But it's well past the goalkeeper. Just what Hearts wanted. The dream is still alive.
Morales left the line to try and play Hearts offside. He came all the way out. If he'd stood still, he would have trapped it and knocked it away. Game on. Hearts have to be careful now. Papadopoulos turns, goes for it. They're going to get their chances. They're not taking them tonight.
Of course they are. There's no doubt about that. But that would have been how to bust a balloon in 1 minute to get them back in there. But as we've seen there, they are dangerous side. Young Gordon Smith come on to like his dad Pogo, who I know will be a very proud man tonight, and brother as well, I believe, of Kevin Smith, Dundee United. So it's a good night for the Smith family.
It's not bad for Hearts either. Gary Glenn coming through onto Boer. It's not out of play yet. It is now. And Carlos concedes the corner. This could be a great night.
Well, you've got a chance. The crowd are up for it now. You know, everybody thought this game was over and done with, and you've got to be honest, it could have been. But credit Hearts, they've got 2 goals. 2 more required, you never know.
Thompson across. Palazuelos goes up. Samir got the touch on it. Taken down. Comes Stewart. Goes for the byline. Has to be careful. Hearts are out of position here. Papadopoulos, Samir in front of him. Mandzukic is out wide. Michael Stewart barely laid a finger on him. The referee, I think, might have seen enough.
I think he just clipped him here, Paul. I think it looks very much like it's a good foul, in fairness, because if Papadopoulos gets away, you know, Hearts are short at the back. I think you'll find him just a little clip, just as he cuts across him. There's a little clip his heels. It's an unfortunate one, and Michael's not in his trouble to speak, but I think that's one for the team.
Well, they came across. Tell you what, I don't think he meant that. There was a little touch, but yeah, I'm not sure he was actually in the motion of trying to take the player.
I don't think it was probably deliberate. But you know, when you trip anybody in Europe, it's mainly a yellow card.
Samir looking to a torn. And Calves is playing as well as I've seen him for Hearts. Got back well and knocked it out of play. Just Hearts have got to keep this bubbling. They have got to repel Dinamo Zagreb. There was a similar situation earlier this season. Motherwell against Stoya Bucharest. Motherwell really got things up. They were 1-0 up, almost got a second. It went flat. Morales, exceptionally long. That's why Mandzukic waits for it. Low ball across. Good take. Giannis Power.
Yeah, it's a good take from the keeper there. Hearts let the man go to wide, but you know, Hearts have to keep the tempo. Don't want to do anything stupid now. Really important that they stay in this game.
It's on the far side to us. Suso adjudged a foul. Mario Mandzukic. Hearts considering Andrew Driver. Hearts do have some options. They've got Ian Black there. Andrew Driver is the man getting ready. That'll be a free kick. Michael Calves could be booked for that. That to me was more of a booking than Michael Stewart.
I agree there, Paul, but I think, you know, this could be one that really gets Tynecastle rocking. Andrew Driver comes on. The crowd will lift that again with that second goal just coming. You know, you never know. If they could just defend this, keep this ball out the box, keep it away, give themselves a chance.
Dinamo Zagreb, the only Croatian club left in European football this term. The other 3 lost in the last round. As the ball gets played in, knocked across initially by Thompson. Gordowiak. Bua is there, Suso as well. And again the Hearts fans on the far side wanted the throw.
Well, they want everything at the moment. That's what happens, you know. They suddenly got a foothold in the game, and this is a tight ground, it's a small ground, but that atmosphere is terrific. You know, we said this place would explode if it was 2. If a third one goes in, this will be it.
Gary Glenn will be coming off. Not before he perhaps makes an impact. He tries to move forward to get on the end of it from Suso. Suso is absolutely wiped out. Well, there can be absolutely no complaints for Badel there.
Well, again, you go to ground on the surface. You have to make sure you get the ball. It's a decent first touch from Suso. He slides in, he gets the man first, the ball after. Good decision from the referee again.
Yellow card goes to number 19, Tomislav Barbaric. There's the change. Gary Glenn is off, and Andrew Driver is on now as an England under-21 international.
Well, it's a big lift again, you know. It's another positive side for Hearts, getting another player back. 2-0 up.
Abua, it's the touch forward. Smith trying to get involved. Top team experience with Livingston. This is Hearts' debut. Zaliukas tries to send it for Suso.
I remember young Gordon well from Livingston, Paul, but I'm pretty sure he was a central midfielder. I don't know if since he's arrived at Hearts this season, they maybe saw something different, but from my recollection, he was a strong running attacking midfielder.
Scored the once for Livingston against East Stirlingshire. Fair to say there's a different level for him. Samir tries to get away from Concalves. Concalves looked to be furling him. Samir does break away, sends it across, and they were coming in. Papadopoulos, Mandzukic.
Well, he does magnificently here, but you'll see in the replay, if he cuts his ball back towards the edge of the box, penalty spot there, there's 3 guys coming in there, it's the wrong ball. You know, it's a decent ball across if your strikers make the front post run. He just picked, thankfully for Hearts, picked the wrong option.
Papadopoulos driving through. Referee not happy at the way the Greek went about his business. Tomislav Barbaric, yellow carded for the tackle on Suso. Michael Stewart in the book for Hearts. Andrew Driver introduced to the action. Tendinitis in the foot has been overcome. On ball, Suso tries to get the better of Carlos. Well, he felt he got there, just couldn't hold on. With under half an hour to play at Tynecastle, Hearts leading by 2-0.
It's still on, Paul. You know, we've got to be honest here. We knew this was a mountain to climb, but fair credit to the team, they've given themselves a chance. We said that, 2 goals the last 20 minutes, anything can happen. It's still on. You know, we keep saying next goal's vital, and again we can say it, the next goal for either team, vital.
Ball knocked away once more. Muzid battling for it. Papadopoulos comes up with the elbow, petulance more than anything else. And they're starting to feel the pressure. Galvez out of play it goes. So Hearts having not scored in the last 4 European games. Last person to net prior to tonight, so there's Mikalunas at home against EEK. Stewart and Zaliukas with the goals tonight. Palacios, Hearts on the goal hunt. Stewart towards Smith. Morales is drifting further infield, trying to make something happen. Waddell goes across. Goalkeeper got a touch on that.
That's a super save in the end. As I say, you know, Hearts are going to have these moments that, you know, the quality of Zagreb and their need to push forward to get at least another goal. It's going to happen. It's a wonderful run. It's a very good strike, and the fingertips of Ballard there just take it over the bar.
Good save from the Hearts goalkeeper. He's doing his bit. Pedro Morales, 14th European appearance, pings that in. Valencia goalkeeper catch that, and it's catchable. Clear by Zaliukas. Carlos slams into reverse, and Calves goes after him. Could have been one of the quietest nights at Tynecastle ever. Instead, it is bubbling, it is boiling. Hearts are putting in all the effort, all the toil, and it's Dinamo Zagreb who are in trouble. Grabelyak with the header away. From Calves onto Palacios. Foot on the angle. Suso wants it. All on his own on that side. Go back to Craig Thompson. Smith bundled down. The offside flag, I think, will deny him.
Yeah, I think he's just shown a wee bit half yard offside there. I'm just wondering, Paul, if it may be possible. No, he's just offside there. If maybe Hearts should throw David Abua through the middle and Andy Driver wide left here and have a real go at the full-backs and And one thing Andrew Driver does give you is great quality delivery, and that's something that's been lacking from the wide areas. Abua's height and strength through the middle. You know, when we just lay it on, take a wee chance.
Comes off the head of Craig Thompson on that far side. They've not travelled particularly well of late, but they did beat Ajax a couple of seasons ago in the qualifier to go through to the group stages. Dinamo Zagreb have been a class side. Mandzukic challenged that time by Smith. Zagreb are preparing a change. Samir knocks it on for Doljak. Over loses out, and here comes Driver. Chance to move. Samir comes to block him. Holds on to him and gets past him. Abua's showing too much of that to the fullback. Love run easily in.
It just doesn't do enough for me in the wide area throw. Again, a great opportunity there. I just wish the roles were reversed. Abua give it to Driver. Touch, whip it in there. Abua needs to improve his crossing. Needs to give Hearts more from these wide areas.
Here comes the missile from Goncalves. It's powerful. The sun that comes in. Andy Driver. It's going to be a goal kick. Driver just getting it caught amongst his feet.
Yeah, it's dangerous again. You know, it's bobbling about that area. They don't seem as sure as they were last week. It's a bit unlucky, a double ricochet of Andy Driver there, but he's in there. He's been busy. Just kicks it against himself. And more positive sides for Hearts.
Mandzukic trying to get involved. Waddell sends it out wide. Thompson, a solid challenge. And down the line trying to find Suso. Waddell again. Passes it out of play. Samir is going to come off. And it's interesting. Ivan Tomaszak, who came on last week at fullback, is going to be brought on. So definitely a defensive-minded switch. Samir moves out onto Abua. Abua needed just a little bit more juice in that one. Marshall an awful lot better. Morales. Waddell back onto Morales. Carlos concedes. Thompson picks up. That's onto Driver. Driver off to the races goes Andy Driver. Carlos cuts across him. And the referee says it's a free kick or a go against the Hearts man.
Yeah, very unlucky. Andrew Driver, a good first touch. You know, he's given the crowd a lift. He's given the team a lift. You know, he's just knocked it there and runs. Just catches him and no more there. That was good defending from Carlos, to be fair. That's amazing, Paul. Last week, the only three names we seemed to mention was Papadopoulos, Mandzukic, and our favourite pal Morales. We've hardly mentioned them tonight, which is just shows you the turnaround in this time.
Samir is gone. And there's a youngster coming on, Ivan Tomaszak. Hearts are going to make a change too in terms of positioning. Driver has moved across to the right hand side, Sousa to the left. It's almost a 4-3-3 at the moment, John.
Well, I think Sousa's moved through the middle there. Young Gordon Smith played just off the front. Driver wide right, Abua wide left. Again, I'd maybe like to see Abua through the middle with his height and his pace, just to give another option there, because he's doing absolutely nothing in the wider area.
Tomaszak dumped to the turf by Goncalves. Goncalves sends it for Suso. Bichat losing out to Suso. Suso did well, did very, very well.
He's shown good energy tonight, Paul, to be fair, but again, it's just that end product.
He's away, he's in the box, he's bundled down. The referee says no chance, absolutely no chance.
No, I think he's played for that there. It's again, you know, we saw an incident last night that wasn't pleasant in the eye. I think unfortunately that would have fallen into the same category had it been given.
Eduardo's replacement, Dinamo Zagreb, is trying to get into the action. Papadopoulos wants to play it on to Mandzukic, who was brought in from NK Zagreb to fill that role. It's Morales, Chilean, onto Milan Badel. Hunted down. Here comes Driver. Carlos hasn't looked the best tonight. Just gets a foot in, the Brazilian Croat.
Andrew Driver looked very, very busy. He's very keen to get in the action there. Maybe a good run out for him before, perhaps. Gets slightly longer at Perth on Sunday.
Sousa went looking for the penalty. On the angle towards Abua. did fairly well there, but that's the height that you want into the middle.
Well, I think, you know, if you're knocking it into the wider areas, he's winning headers, he has to head them back in towards the penalty. And I don't think Smith and Suso are out-and-out strikers, sniffers. So therefore, I would think maybe if you stick a ball through the middle and he just gets little glances into the channel sort of running, it's a better ball.
All in wrestling. Galvez on to Suso. Suso just couldn't keep it in on the line. Well, if this is the squad that Hearts are going to have to go through the season with, what has Xabi Laszlo learned tonight?
Well, he's learned that if you play a high tempo and get about players and squeeze them up the park, that you can get a hold of it against good teams and pressurise them and use the quality ball yourself. And a few youngsters getting blooded tonight, which can't be bad in terms of squad. But I think it's patently obviously that I think every Hearts fan knows that they need a striker who can score goals, and you know, hopefully, and given the way he finished last season, he can get that.
Berdoliak scored the third. Sends it on. Tomashaku. Calves has to be careful. Well, the number 2, the substitute, went down, and I'll tell you what, the Hearts fans just held their breath here.
He's just done enough. That's upper body strength. He just got his body under his toe there, and he just slowed about. You'll see it from here. There it is. Good stuff. Heart and mouth time, but he got away with it.
Forward by Zaliukas. Suso battling. Bushan sends it away. Berdoliak. 19 minutes. Hearts need to score twice. Michael Stewart with the opening goal. And there's Zaliukas with the second. Thompson being stretched now. And Zukic being marshalled much better. That was loose from Stewart. Mapua managed to stick a foot in. Breaks onto Smith. Out wide it comes. Referee will allow play to continue. Suso is through the middle. Low ball into Suso. Held up by Barbaric. Suso continues to be jostled. He could do with an out ball.
I think it was Bishan clattered into Gordon Smith there, but the referee again, he gave good advantage. Suso just slowed it down there.
Galvez. Just too much on at that time.
It's actually not a bad ball, Paul, there. If Andy Driver, you know, I think his keenness, wanting to get in there on the end of that cross, if he just hangs his run a little bit, just waits till he sees the angle of the ball coming in, he can attack that just a wee bit early.
Well, this was the second goal. Head away, Samir, what was he thinking? And it wasn't a powerful shot. But I'll tell you what, the Hearts fans greeted it as if it was a rocket from 25 yards.
Both similar goals, Paul, you know, not the greatest strikes, but on target, and with a keeper like Boutinas tonight, you know, it's the bandit end up the back of the net.
It's always been a happy place for visiting goalkeepers, Tynecastle Park. Mind you, they're usually in the green and white of Hibs, to be fair.
Harsh, but fair.
Adele moves the ball infield. Again, Ballock happy to see it go wide. And Morales is frustrated. He's had some year playing well, a 5-year contract here at Dinamo Zagreb. Part of the Chilean side who won in Bolivia at the highest altitude in world football. Tonight, he's back down to earth. Palazuelos. Trying to find it onto Smith. Ogua. Galvez through. Stewart pushed up. Morales again drops deep. Stewart goes in. Great challenge. Nice dummy too.
Just wondering, Paul, with the close confines of Tynecastle, if the fact that the fans are all about 10 feet behind the goals, if it has any effect on goalkeepers.
And certainly he doesn't have to worry about that at home. He does away from home. Again, the ball is planted away. Dejan Lovren getting nervous. Adele out wide. Carlos Mandzukic outside. Thompson goes to him. Into Carlos. Buzic with a touch away. Will be kept in. And that was short. On to Smith. Palazuelos with a block. Some of the best bit of kickball we've seen on Dinamo Zagreb tonight. And Carlos just goes for a wild one. Goes it away. On to Smith. To Palazuelos. Suso got little chance up against the big central defender. Bishan goes down very easily.
Yeah, he's got to try something like that, but he does tend to throw the arm up at time to time. But Zagreb's shown a bit of quality now, Paul. This is what probably their coach wanted in the first half. Spells of possession to try and kill the game, and Hearts will tire. They've put a lot of energy into this performance, but they've just got to try and hang on to it, try and force that third goal, and see if there's any time left.
Well, one more and it's game on. Dinamo Zagreb would certainly take fright. Way forward by his manager. Morales to Papadopoulos. Once again throw up the maroon wall. Buzic on to Driver. Back onto Buzic. That's a great little ball. Suso's offside.
Yeah, that's a good decision from the linesman. We've got a perfect view from here, and again, similar to the Nadi one earlier on, he can see the defender in front of him. He's just offside, but if he just delays his run, he's definitely going to be on. He's half a yard offside, and that's a little bit sad. If he just delays it, just looks at the defender, makes sure he's onside, he's in.
They did tell us their fans were nuts. I think that's confirmed.
I think one or two of them could do with a puffer jacket or two there, Paul.
Says the man who took one to 34-degree Zagreb. Dolishak. Inside it goes. Again, the referee's calling them a little bit on the soft side now.
Yes, again, it's just a collision there. I didn't see much wrong with that again, but the referee's calling. It's a very good game, to be fair.
Driver goes down. That's a free kick. And Lovren thought about just banging that ball away. Andy Driver, and then boots and all, will get back up. Took it down well. It's this delightful little flick.
Again, I think it's an accidental collision. It's definitely a foul. There's absolutely no doubt about it. And I think he's a bit unlucky to get the yellow card for that. But again, the referee's been strong tonight, and that's an area you want Andy Driver in, because if he gets away from there, he's putting it right into the box to go and attack. But a goal now. 13 minutes to go. It would be bedlam.
Referee, an imposing figure, 6'5". He's got the advantage over most. Swung in by Thompson. It's deep. Buzic with a header. He got it well at the back post, and the goalkeeper was guarding it.
Well, two things to point at. One there, they brought young Craig Thompson all the way over for right back to take that, which shows you what to think of delivery. And this is a real chance. Buzic's got a free header. He goes back across the goals. It's a tap-in for Zalukis at the back post, or it goes in the net.
Tell you what, the goalkeeper didn't look convincing even then. A hand onto the leg. Stewart. Smith dispossessed. Can Hearts keep the pace up? Tomaszak in field. William. Badel. Bishan. Hearts are hunting. Closing down.
Much better, as you say, tonight. It's night and day. They've done really, really well.
Well, can Scotland do well? John, is the highlights of Scotland against Macedonia a week on Saturday, and then will it be an important match? We hope so. Scotland take on the Dutch in Hampden Park. That's too far. Tomaszak has no chance of getting on the end of it.
This just doesn't look like the same team that could have scored 6 or 7 last week, Paul, at ease, you know. It just shows you the difference. Maybe switched off, thinking the time was done.
Well, if they came to enjoy the festival, they've come to the wrong show. Ordowiak. It's on Zaliukas in there again. Palazuelos. And a power of work, can't get on the end of it. 10 minutes to play. Papadopoulos looking to put an end to things. Zaliukas there again.
That's good defending. Hearts getting away with it again. Just about Papadopoulos getting in top. There has been over the years a lot of late goals here in Europe. Let's hope that there's another one, at least another one for Hearts.
The play on the far side. Ian Black is getting ready to come on. Suso picks up. I'm wondering if Palazuelos might have done it for tonight. Or Suso is the other option. Head flick inside. Good play from Bouzid. It's opening up. Over the inside. Tomaszak. Badel. They're just trying to take the sting out of things. Morales. Badel will slip as he shimmies. Tries to work the 1-2, still going. That's a clout away from Goncalves. Kept him well. Jan Laurent, the 20-year-old. It's better from Dinamo Zagreb. Badel goes through. That's a good touch. That's a decent strike too from Papadopoulos. And once more, Janos Balok is there for Hearts.
Balok's had a good game. You know, we're waxing lyrical with Hearts doing so well, but he's had 3 or 4 good saves now. And this was the Zagreb we saw last week. Good play, wonderful strike, good save.
Foul throw.
Just wonder now, Paul, with 10 minutes to go, is there another formation that Hearts can do? Is there something else in this game that can just... They've got to take a chance now. There's 10 minutes left. They need 2 goals. You know, if they lose a goal now, it doesn't matter. But you just need to get something else into the action there to try and get this all-important 3rd goal.
Not noted goal scorers. Hearts 42 goals in 41 games last term. A goal in each half so far. Sees them lead by 2-0. And it is Ruben Palazuelos. And he gives way to Ian Black. Now he's disappointed with the way he played last week, John. I mean, a lot of the Hearts players were. Ruben Palazuelos a much better European night tonight.
I think all of them could say that. You know, as poor as Hearts were last week, they've been excellent tonight. You know, they've took their chances well. They've had 2 or 3 other chances. So have Zagreb. Let's be honest, Zagreb had chances well, but at least they've given themselves still a small chance.
Smith to Suso. Suso had lost possession. Here comes Black. On to Thompson. It's a decent ball across, might fall for Andy Driver. What an important touch out by Bishka. Driver will leave it from Goncalves. When it comes to throw-ins, there's a poor man's Robbie Nielsen, but he still can get them in.
Look, there's David Abua, 6'5" and 6'4" at the back post, not coming across to try and flick it on. He's just thrown that to the 2 centre halves. Surely David Abua's got to come in and give himself, just make himself a target for him.
Goncalves, great ball, drops across, chance for Hearts! David Abua! He had a chance after 2 minutes, he's got a chance with 7 minutes to go. It's not his night so far.
Oh, well, you've taken the words out of my mind. It's just, that sums up his night there. He's just got to get on target. It's a decent effort, don't get me wrong. It's not a bad effort, but you've got to hit it down into the ground here. He's just lifted it, he's got over the ball. And that could be the chance that perhaps takes his tide just beyond Hearts.
It's a Shabba moment. Well, they are making some noise around Tynecastle, the so-called European song being sung. Can it drive these players on to the effort required? 2 goals needed. You think he'd look excited? The one time you think he might look excited.
That's a strange thing though, that the last 2 or 3 games he's been very, very subdued. You know, I know it's been well reported he's not happy because he hasn't got the striker that he wanted, and you know, you saw him last year very animated, very excited, very passionate. Maybe it's a conscious thing to sit back, but certainly, you know, Shabba of old certainly likes to get involved, should we say, Paul?
Changes being made. Morales is going to be withdrawn. Driver goes in, makes the block. Erdolyak is complaining to the referee. Not many plus points tonight with a return. But I think the Hearts' best player last season is certainly one of them. And Calves sends it for Suso to chase. Bishan is unsure. Suso quite rightly didn't foul him. Drops the driver. All we can see is blue in front of him. And Calves, that took a slight deflection going through. The goalkeeper struggling, might fall for Hearts. Abua touches it across. Suso, somebody's going to take the shot. Wanted too long. Papadopoulos eased away that time. Buzi took out everything in his way to play it forward. David Abua scolds himself on the far side. He deserved it.
Everything about the tie, everything that you want to know is summed up there. The goalkeeper's had an absolute shocker. He knocks it down to David Abua. It's not been his night. He decides to pass the buck as well as the ball, and Suso just showing a little bit lack of quality to get the ball down. He's put a power of work in Suso tonight. Maybe a bit tired, but again, to pull back 4 goals, you need to take those chances.
Well, John Robertson is a man who scored plenty of goals at Tynecastle. 2 in 2 minutes against Rangers once. John, if you want to go down, you're welcome.
I'd love to, but perhaps 1 or 2 pounds just heavy, I would say.
Hearts top European goal scorer, that very man there, 7 goals. Sklavina gets ready to come on, starting both against Red Bull Salzburg. And the man on loan gets ready to come on for Pedro Morales.
Been disappointing him tonight, Paul. He was magnificent last week. He really was. He ran the show, but it just shows you coming to a different atmosphere. Not so much time on the ball. You know, he's not shown tonight, but I tell you what, he's certainly a name that you'll look for in the future to see how well he does.
Correction there. They've decided to bring on Adrian Kaleliuk instead of Dennis Sklavina. As the move breaks down again at the edge of the box from a Hearts point of view, and Milan Badel drives it wide.
Quick goal, 5 minutes of injury time.
That'll do. Well, Hearts have given their all, that's for sure. Is there more to be wrung out of the efforts of the men in the room tonight? And on to Driver, trying to find Smith. Michael Stewart acknowledges the poor ball, we'll get it back again. On to Suso. Suso, has he drawn the free kick? He has. That's one of the things Suso will do. He brings the ball in well to feet. Man behind him does seem to draw the free kicks.
Yeah, he has got something. You know, I don't know if I've seen the full bit, but he just his quality from the wide areas, gives it away sometimes. Just that final product. It's the same with Abua. I know I've gone on about him tonight, but he just doesn't give you that final quality bit of that you want in the last third.
Thompson's delivery has been good. Bishan gets the header away there. Lucid went in rather heavily. It will break for Hearts. And Michael Stewart. Stewart going down the line. Was he fouled? No. Chips the ball across the goalkeeper, struggling again. Won't fall for Hearts. It will for Goncalves. Abua, Goncalves in the last 5 minutes have both had chances for the third.
Well, you're right. You can add Suso to that list as well. There's been 3 unbelievable chances, all caused from what can only be described, let's be honest, a bomb scare of a goalkeeper tonight. He's had a shocker, and Hearts just haven't been able to capitalise on it. And if we're being honest, Paul, you know, the damage was done in the first hour in Zagreb, and Hearts have given it their all tonight, maybe, and it looks like they're going to come up just a little bit short.
Well, the change made. Eventually, Dimitrios Papadopoulos is withdrawn. Slepečka, introduced for the 4th time in Europe this term. Free kick goes against Hearts. Time ebbing away now. Well, these Hearts fans came with plenty of questions. How would their side play? Would they react? Would they see a lot more than they've seen? They certainly have, and they've rattled Krunoslav Juric and Dinamo Zagreb.
certainly have, Paul. You know, the first thing tonight was to win the game, get out the losing streak, and push on from there. You know, 2-0 up with 35 minutes to go, gave them a chance. And as I say, even moving into the last few minutes now, you know, they've done very well tonight. But the damage was done. The damage was done in Zagreb, and it was a big ask. And they gave everything tonight. And as I say, a 2-0 win against a team of Zagreb's quality, it's not a bad result to hold a platform for the rest of the season.
Europa Cup group stages draw tomorrow. Celtic will be in it, the sole Scottish representatives. 3 minutes of time added on. If results go the way that Dinamo Zagreb wish across Europe this evening, they will move up a pot. The coefficient took them into pot 4 provisionally, and they could easily move up to pot 3. Both Bruges and Dinamo Bucharest were in trouble. Hearts are leaving men further up the field. That's a decent header. Balog turns it away. Mandzukic has been so quiet in the last 15 minutes. Tests the Hearts goalkeeper.
Well, as much as we've been pushing Hearts' cause, Paul, and as much as we've been bemoaning the missed chances, I can't go unnoticed that Janos Balog's had a magnificent game tonight. That must be about his 4th, 5th even. Really good save.
Well, Zagreb will know that their home not quite dry as such, but Dinamo Zagreb will once more grace the group stages of the competition now known as the Europa League, the UEFA Cup. Think of it, it's an old name. Ian Black just tries to thump it forwards. Decision goes Hearts' way. Another good thing tonight has been the fact that my opposite number from Croatian television hasn't spent the entire 90 minutes smiling like he did last week. Bishan thumps it away. Thompson goes down under the challenge. Mandzukic, the face of innocence. Bring forward. Kuzi has stayed up. Black on the angle. Suso tries to get there. Good play. Badil on that far side. Just couldn't get that third goal, which would have given us a terrific finish here at Tynecastle. Chances falling the way of Suso, Abua and Calvez. And the referee is going to have a word with Ian Black here. We're in the final minute. He's going to bring out the card, and Ian Black sees yellow. Burnell was caught there, and to be fair, that is a yellow card.
Yeah, again, you can't argue. I think, to be honest, the referee tonight's had a terrific match. He's kept the game going, he's given cards when he's had to.
The man from Rothenburg in Germany has been very good. And Calvez, Tomaszak tries to knock it across. Smith tries to gather. Abua, oh, that was a poor challenge by Bishan. Abua continues to go, and the referee, who tells him to go, Sheba Laszlo knows it's gone.
I think Bishan's fortunate there, but I think he's been on a yellow card, so that could easily been another one.
Thompson. Time has come and gone. The referee looks at his watch, and Hearts' European campaign in 2009 is just one match, one tie. And Sheba Laszlo just had the 2 games, and in the end the damage was done in the Croatian capital. Marius Zaliukas drenched with the Edinburgh rain, but the pride he'll feel with the way that Hearts have played tonight will warm him, no doubt. A big night for Gordon Smith, a big night too for Michael Stewart. Got Hearts racing after just 17 minutes, an error by the goalkeeper Marius Zaliukas with a second. But it wasn't to be. The damage done in Zagreb. Dinamo Zagreb go through on aggregate, but on the night it finished Hearts 2, Dinamo Zagreb 0.
Yes, it's another Scottish if only, but Hearts regaining a great deal of pride in the rain at Tynecastle tonight, and there really was a chance when they got that second goal just 11 minutes into the second half. It really was on. That's a very relieved Dinamo Zagreb side who will go into the Europa League. They got the fright of their lives tonight. What a difference a week makes, Craig, eh?
that's football, isn't it, Dougie? You just couldn't picture Hearts putting on a performance like that, judged on what happened last week. But you can never underestimate the power of the home tie, the home supporters, and the players getting a kick up the backside, probably.
Yeah, so, I mean, tonight, obviously the disappointment of going out, but I think a lot of pleasure in the way they've played, Billy. And this, I think, given the performance against Rangers as well on Sunday, that they'll feel good about themselves for the domestic season.
Yeah, the questions asked, they've done that against Rangers. I thought they should have won the game against Rangers, being quite honest. I think they totally went about it the wrong way after they were 1-0 up. But the reaction from them tonight, they were getting men forward in numbers, they were pressing. Yeah, they were going to have a few chances, they're giving away a few chances at the back. That was always going to happen. Their approach to the game was first class, and unlucky not to get the third goal. And maybe you could even go back to Zagreb and make sure that they didn't lose that fourth goal, because that was important as well. Poor defending, but they just didn't do enough on the night, but they were absolutely first class.
Let's take a look at the 2 goals then, which restored Scottish pride after such a disappointing European campaign. This in the first half, and well, they had the right attitude tonight, Craig, didn't they?
Yeah, pressed high up the pitch, as you will see here. Michael Stewart nicks the ball, and you know, a phrase we used quite often tonight, what the hell was the goalkeeper doing there? You know, he was Hearts' best player actually, their goalkeeper. But no, they pressed high up the park. This was so much different from last week, and I mean, as long as you hit the target, it just shows you got a chance of scoring a goal. And again here, the second one, mistake, but you know, if the ball's in the box, you've got a chance of scoring goals. Getting set pieces became vital the longer the game went for Hearts. This came from a set piece, again, poor goalkeeping in my eyes. But they were right back in the tie at this time, and you know, we're just desperate, weren't we, Billy, for them to get another goal just to see what the Dinamo Zagreb were made of.
Yeah, and they had time to do it, but it just wasn't to come. But I'm sure Xabi Alonso tonight, a very much happier manager with his team. Here he is with Jonathan Sutherland.
Xabi, how proud are you of your players tonight?
I am proud about the player. A little bit I am sad, but I think this is football. You must accept not only this result is very bad. The result is good. The game was good. The confidence was there, especially after the losing game against Rangers, which one also was a very good game. But we must learn our lesson in Europe, and the 4-0 was a very high result against us in Zagreb, and I think this was the point. But we had a good chance. We had the possibility also to make it 4. I think this young team have a future.
At the end, the Hearts fans singing how much they want you to stay at the club, Xabi. Is that where you see your future lying?
I don't know. Definitely Hearts is a big club. I try to make my job. I have a 2-year contract, but you don't know never what happened in a football. But I am proud about this club, about the supporters, and I am proud also to work for this club. But don't forget never, you don't know what happened tomorrow. I have a 2 years